When the man said he was ready to deliver, he sent me pictures. I said, that's not what I ordered. So he took that money, he took that deposit, and he chopped it. He chopped it. Okay? When I tell you I wanted to fuck him up, when I tell you I wanted to fuck him up, I'm not lying. This was one of those moments where I wished I had my male relatives nearby to just go and handle the situation. Hi, welcome to BLAXIT to Africa. I'm Tadre Delora Mounier, your host, and I hope that you are informed, entertained, and inspired to BLAXIT to Africa. So today's episode is a bit different. Normally, I talk to people about their experiences coming home to the motherland after having been separated for decades or even centuries. But today, we're going to focus on the shit that really annoys me about living in Kenya. And before you come for me, let me just say this. I wanted to put this out there for a number of reasons. Like, there's so many caveats to this. I wanted to put this out there because people seem to think that if you change your location, you change your life, right? Also, there's this prevailing thought that, living outside the US is a utopia, or living in Africa can be a utopia. And there is no utopian community. So that's why I wanted to put that out there. Also, whenever you leave home and you go someplace new, shit is just real unfamiliar. And for me, I love the unfamiliarity. But there's this constant comparison of your home country or the country you were in before, et cetera, et cetera. And that can really stop you from living your fullest life and really experiencing the country to the fullest when you're so freaking focused on how different things are from your home. But this show is really for people who are considering coming back to the motherland, and they just really need to know the deal. I do apologize in advance for any sniffling. I have allergies. I've never had allergies before, but now that I'm in Kenya, for some reason, I have allergies this time of year. So for my Kenyans, don't come for auntie. Please don't come for auntie, because y'all know I love it here. And I know Americans would be like, oh, you could take your ass back home if you came to America talking that on your YouTube channel. I get that. I love it here. I'm just really want to put this information out there for our brothers and sisters who are looking at Kenya as their next home. Okay. And also, I got my crystals. Okay. I got incense going. Okay. I got my crystals. This one here is to block all that negative energy. So don't be in my comments. Don't be in my comments. Okay. Talking about, oh, you could go back home. And also, let me light my sage. Yes. Let me light my sage, because we need to purify this space. Ooh. Y'all know I'm earthy. We need to purify this space, because what I try to practice is speaking more of what I want into my life and less of what I don't want into my life. So even making this video, I was like, ooh, do I really want to talk about the things that I don't like? But I'm going to do it, and I'm going to just purify the space before and after. And then right after this video, I'm going to record what I love about Kenya, because we want more of that. We definitely want more of that. Okay, only purity. Whew, only purity. Yes, only goodness. Okay, I really hope you don't mind. This sage. I hope you don't mind. I have my notes in front of me so I can refer to them and stay on track. All right, let's get into it. Let's just get into it. Number one most annoying thing about living in Kenya, baby, the lack of customer service. Oh, I really feel like it's probably just East Africa from one country to the next. But right now we focused on Kenya. As someone who is a customer service trainer, I am a customer service stickler. Like, I know that it's hard to come by. So when I get it, ooh, I tip. I am so grateful. I show my gratitude and how I thank you, and also with my money. The lack of customer service in Kenya, I just be like, what? The way you have to follow up just for a service is something else. Okay, there's just so many things. There's so many things. Nairobi actually is not as bad as, let's say, Kampala. I'm gonna have to do a whole nother episode on Kampala. But let's say you go to a store. It's a retail store. It's a clothing store. At least in Kenya, they will greet you. But baby, they will be so close up on you to make sure you don't steal. And like, they don't even tell you about the product. You'll pick up something, you'll be eyeing something. Oh, this is nice. The person that's making sure you don't steal, and mind you, this is not a security guard. This is supposed to be sales help. She ain't said shit to you about, oh yes, we also have this in blue, and I think we have 2 in your size. Would you like me to put that in the dressing room for you? Let me tell you about this collection. No, she is just there like this, up on you. At least in Kenya, like, there's a few feet between, maybe 2 or more feet between you and the customer service rep, whereas in Kampala, they be right here and they don't even greet you. So I'll give that to Kenya. But the customer service, and then you could call a major corporation. You could call a major corporation on their corporate line, and they pick up the phone like they at home. Hello? And you be like, yes, am I calling X, Y, and Z Corporation? Yes. And then they want you to tell them why you're calling. Whereas I'm sure in Europe and of course in the US, it's like, hi, this is Tadre. You've called X, Y, and Z Corporation. How may I help you? Baby. And so I know that I can make a lot of money as a customer service trainer here in East Africa. I've just chosen not to do that because it's not something that really lights me up, but it's something that is really needed. And I've actually done customer service training in Uganda. I've offered to do it for a corporation here in Kenya. They were like, yeah, that never worked out. But honestly, like, the customer service, long way to go. Can get there, but long way to go. But the thing that has perplexed me about customer service in East Africa is that when you go to somebody's home, they really roll out the red carpet. I mean, like, they make time for you no matter what they're doing. They welcome you into the home. You show up unannounced. It's like, no, they make time for you. They sit down, they speak with you, they give you something to eat, something to drink, much like, we used to do in the South. Maybe people still do it in Southern America, but it's how I was raised by my Southern grandmother, right? You show up at somebody's house in the States unannounced. It's like, yes, is everything okay? They might not even offer you in. So I'm like, because hospitality is such a major thing, I'm not understanding why that's not transferred into the workplace. And when I was training people in Uganda, I was like, when these people come into your store, you welcome them like you would into your home. That was an example that they could easily translate. But it's just like, you go into a restaurant, like the restaurants in the States, The customer has the right of way. You're walking, the servers, the bus boys, everyone moves out the way. Here it's like, you see I'm working, like you, it's a lot. I could go on, but I won't. The short-term hustle mentality, that's number 2. The short-term hustle mentality. I'm like, are things that bad? I'm serious. Like, are things really that bad where you just got to get your money now? Like, you not interested in having me as a customer next week, next month, 6 months from now? What? I don't understand. For example, there's so many, but I will just talk about the most recent example. Okay. So you see the table behind me, okay? I went to Gikomba, which is an area, it's like a huge outdoor market. They have any and everything, okay? It's so big that if you don't know it, you need a guide to take you to the different sections. So I went to a section that takes reclaimed wood. They take shipping pallets, they take wooden crates, and they fashion them into furniture pieces. So I had the guy make me 2 side tables, okay, for my mom's room, for my guest room, for the bed. Then I had him make me 2, whatchamacallits, like bed frames. So platform bed frames. And I loved his work because he did this burnt Japanese technique. He was on time, he delivered. Then I had him make me this table. Now that's the second table. The first table, it was like he just did some shit and I was like not happy with it. I was like, all right, like, can you just take your time with the next one and do it how I like it? The first one, he didn't stain it correctly and the wheels were cheap and the finishing wasn't good. He didn't use choice pieces of wood. I was like, okay, just make this one right here. He charged me for these lights. He like overcharged me for the lights. The lights only lasted a week. So I said, all right, I'm going to pay you for another table. I'm sure I can find somebody else to take the first table. I can give it away, sell it, whatever. This table, I want that. So I give him a deposit. He takes the deposit and does not deliver on time. So he delivers a week later. This one is cool. Okay, I like it. Then I paid him. I forgot that I gave him the deposit. So I gave him extra. I hit him up. I said, hey, you know, I gave you extra. Can you send that money back? He never does. I said, okay, can you at least make, you know, this bench for me for my hallway so we can sit on this bench and change our shoes, and it can also have storage area for our shoes because this is a shoeless household. And no response. Bruh got that extra 1,000, that 10, it's like roughly $8, and bounced. Now, I've ordered from him on 3 separate occasions, and he's just like, I'm good. You know, like, this has been a nice business relationship. Thank you for that extra 1,000. You'll never hear from me again. Okay, so maybe that's not the best example. I think my best example was I ordered a bed frame for my room, carved in like this traditional Swahili carving, and dude got the deposit and he made the bed frame. He delivered the shit late as fuck. I had to follow up with him several times. When he brought the piece, when I tell you it was subpar, I'm gonna have to include photos. When I tell you it was subpar, I was just like, and because my father is a carpenter, right? He started out in his career as a carpenter, and I grew up making things with my hands: wood, nail, hammer, glue, sanding, sandpaper, shellacking, right? Staining. Because I grew up doing that type of thing, I knew that it was subpar when he delivered it to my house. But I had seen his work before. I saw him on Red Hill Road, and Red Hill Road it's basically a road where you have lots of vendors, carpenters, what else do they have out there? People selling baskets, etc. So I saw his work before. What he delivered to me late and subpar, I was like, I don't even understand. So when he came to my house to make the delivery, he was like, oh, like now I understand your style, because I wanted him to do a light purple, like washed out finish on the headboard. And he really didn't understand, but he was just like, oh, I see your style now. No one requests these colors that you want. So he told me he was going to make it in like a hardwood. I think it was going to be ebony wood, and ebony is coming from the Congo, all this stuff. The wood he brought to my house, that is not ebony. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to hold you. I just need a bed frame. Bruh, I'm going to need you to sand this down. I'm going to need you to fix this, this, and this. And so he did. And so from there, after that, I had also contracted him to, in that same order, I had also asked him to make a desk for me, same Swahili carvings, as well as a matching chair. Can I tell you, the desk started to crack, like at the top, okay? It started to crack like the second week. Now it's just this huge fissure that's about, what is that, like a centimeter wide across the desk. Let's not go there, but okay. The brother came to my house. He said, now I get your style. I understand. I was like, I want to give him another chance. So second order, I was like, I need 2 side tables. Okay, this is the style I want. He sent me pictures, and I want them to be yellow. Bruh took the deposit. Then he asked for more money, and he never delivered. When, I try not to use this word on camera. When the man said he was ready to deliver, he sent me pictures. I said, that's not what I ordered. So he took that money, he took that deposit, and he chopped it. He chopped it. Okay? When I tell you I wanted to fuck him up, when I tell you I wanted to fuck him up, I'm not lying. This was one of those moments where I wished I had my male relatives nearby to just go and handle the situation. My girlfriend, she gave me the number of a dude. She was like, he got that street cred, and he'll call him, he'll intimidate him, and the guy will deliver. Bruh, I was thankful for him, but he intimidated the dude, and the dude just never delivered. He never delivered the side tables, and he took my deposit, and I still got this. It's a beautiful desk, but I know he could have done better. There's like so many imperfections. The most recent, the one before this guy, the one before the guy who did this at Gikomba, was another dude at Gikomba. So before, I was like, instead of me buying a mattress, let me do something custom for that room. And I was gonna get like a wall-to-wall mattress. And this is gonna be for my mom, and it was gonna be elevated on this custom wood frame that would have drawers, etc. So I go to Gikomba after watching YouTube videos where they talked about where to find affordable mattresses. So I saw that I could choose the foam, I saw that I could choose the covering, etc. I go down there and I choose what I want. And I get home and I say, you know what? I don't want that. I'm just going to purchase a ready-made mattress. But I got these chairs right here, these swinging chairs. I tried to have some cushions made for the swinging chairs over a year ago. Dude made them too big. There they go right there in the corner. We sit on, they too big, okay? That's them right there in the corner. But, you know, my mom is coming. I want her to be comfortable. So let me just try again. So I called dude up and I said, hey, we're not going to make the mattresses, but I got some hanging chairs that I need cushions for. I know that, you know, you'll end up owing me money because I have already given him a deposit, but don't worry about that. I just want the cushions. You can hang on to the extra money because I know where I'm at, okay? Dude was like, cool. I said, come to my house and do the measurements because we don't want that to happen again, okay? And he said, no, just send me the measurements. So I sent him the measurements. Dude, I go down there because I know where I'm at. I go down there to make sure he gonna get my order right. He's not there. The people in Geek Home Buy, they stick together. So it's crazy down there. I got a little turned around. I was like, okay, where's his shop? I didn't know where his shop was. So the people in Geek Home Buy, I was showing them like the receipt. They didn't want to take me to his shop because they figured there was a little something between us and they didn't want to basically out him. They weren't trying to snitch. So eventually I found his place again and went to the shop, and his colleagues was like, oh, he's not here, blah, blah. I was like, okay, that's fine. Let's just get him on the phone because I need him to make these cushions ASAP. And if he not here, then one of y'all can make them. We get him on the phone, we get him on speakerphone, and he's like, but I already started the mattress project. I said, why you start the mattress project when you agreed to do the cushions for the chair? But I already started. I said, well, we here in your workshop, so where is the mattress at? Because the workshop was smaller than this room, okay? So you could see everything he had going on in that workshop. Where is the mattress that you said you started on? We here. He ain't had no answers. His colleagues ain't had no answers. I said, well, where's the manager? I need to talk to the manager. Do you know, I ended up having to go to the police. I should have just let it go. Because I should have just let it go. This is not the United States. But I was like, no, it's the principality. I was caught up on the principality. So I woke up actually ready to fight. I woke up, I said, you know what? I don't have no male relatives that can go down there and handle this for me, so I'm going to handle it. And I got up, I pulled my hair up, I didn't wear no jewelry, I got dressed, I had some boots on, I was ready to fight. And my spiritual advisor called me about something unrelated, and I told her about the situation. She was like, no, Tadre, just go to the police. That works for me. Just go to the police. But my spiritual advisor, she is Indian descent. And in terms of hierarchy in this country, you got white people, you got Indians, you got wealthy Kenyans, and then you got everybody else. That's typically how it works. So of course she go to the police in her skin, right, in her packaging, and it works for her. I go to the police and they looking at me like, you're wasting our time. And this man made this mattress for you and you need to pay him, right? So they had him go get the mattress. They was like, go get the mattress. So my homie met me up there, and my homie pulled me to the side, and he was like, Tadre, if this man go get his mattress, they gonna box you in and they gonna make you pay him the remaining amount for the mattress. So what you want to do? So and that man still, he had no shame. He came in there lying. I had a timeline that I created. Of course, I had the text messages, etc. The man had no shame. Even after that, he had the nerve to call me up 2 weeks out talking about when you coming to get your mattress. Short-term hustle mentality. Another thing is hair and hair products. This will be number 3. If you come in here with straight hair, like your hair is not naturally straight, you do a press out, a flat iron, a relaxer, you're gonna be disappointed, because they just don't do that to the level that we're accustomed to in the US. Your shit gonna be greasy and it's gonna be stiff. Your edges will not be laid, and if you do a relaxer, it's gonna be over processed. I've literally been at the salon and seen them put that creamy crack on the new growth and then run it down to the rest of the hair shaft. Yeah. Natural hair, I'm gonna be real, they don't really do a good job with natural hair unless it's braids. If you're doing plaits, if you're doing cornrows, if you're doing individuals, if you're doing bohemian locks, but like something like this, like a wash and go, figuring out how to cut it, etc. Like no. Kampala is the place to go for that, because they will coif you, okay? You will have a bouffant, you will be coiffed. But Kenya, as far as natural hair, no. And then like when they be detangling, they'll start at the root and come down with a comb instead of starting at the ends and working their way up. Hair color. If you require a color that requires toner, if you need a color that requires toner, forget about it, because your shit will be brassy. It will not complement your skin tone. Ooh. But if you're doing like a purple, if you're doing some sort of red, cool. Like if you're doing like a purple, if you're doing a red, cool. If you're doing a blonde, no ma'am, orange, you will be looking orange. And there's a very prominent hair salon here that does hair color, and they be posting on their Instagram, and I be like, ooh wee. There are a couple of times where I even put in the comments, toner. It needs toner. So hair products, bring your hair products. They have Shea Moisture here, though they don't have the whole collection. My favorite brand is Kinky Curly. They don't have it here. I ordered from Amazon, and I use a company called Kentex to ship it to me. Kentex charges, I want to say $15 per 4 pounds, and they deal with customs and all the fees, etc. So hair products, you're gonna have to bring your own, and if you're coming with straight hair, you probably need to learn how to do your hair on your own, or just start transitioning to a natural hairstyle. Number 4, okay, things that expats want, though produced in Kenya, are expensive as fuck. And Kenyans might say, but we don't eat that. We don't buy that, but it's produced here. So they know that expats want it, and so they charge a premium for it. For instance, cheese. Cheese is really pricey here. And I was gonna say dry cleaning, but then when I compare the prices to how much we charge for dry cleaning at home, I'm like, actually, it's kind of cheap. But when you compare the cost of dry cleaning here to how much it costs to actually have someone come to your house and hand wash, it is very expensive. So for to dry clean a coat, 600 shillings, which is roughly like $5.50. To dry clean a duvet is like 1,300 shillings, which is more like $10. And I see in the States it can be double in some parts of the country. So you be the judge. Gym memberships, baby. Okay, so gym culture, active lifestyle in cities is really not a thing here. There are some people you'll see running. Of course, they do have more gyms here than they do in Kampala, but it's not like a culture. For instance, in LA, let's say in the coastal cities in the US, like everybody has either a gym membership or pretends like they go into the gym. Like here, it's not really that. So they charge a lot. For instance, my friend belongs to a gym at Westgate, really nice gym, multiple levels, almost on an Equinox status, and she has a discount paying about $70 a month for her gym. Whereas like an Equinox would be like 125, a Ritz-Carlton maybe more. So just keep that in mind. I work out at home. I use Fit On as an app. I bought some weights. I got my yoga mats over there. So that's something to keep in mind. Technology, yeah, expensive, or like glitchy and expensive. That's number 5 on my list. So Wi-Fi is really expensive here, okay? Now, they got different speeds. They done broke it down into different speeds. I have the second to highest speed. I pay about $50 a month with Zuku Fiber just for Wi-Fi, right? Unlimited. Now, at home, I have unlimited. I have the fastest speed. It's really only one speed. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't nickel and dime you like that. And I was paying $40 across the board. So if I wanted the fastest speed, it would be like 110,000, which is what, like $98 every month. And that's something to consider if you're coming to Africa and you need the internet to work. If you're doing online teaching, if you're doing day trading, if you have classes, you want good Wi-Fi. And unfortunately, most of Africa just is not there in terms of offering you swift Wi-Fi uninterrupted, okay? Glitches in payment systems, I just be like, okay, because I'm in Nairobi. Nairobi's a metropolitan city, and I'm just like, oh, we doing things. Everything can be done on the phone. And then you just reach this weird, quirky user interface situation, and it's like nobody thought that part through. You know, it'd be weird, like, oh, you can pay for this online, but if you want to, you gotta come in person. Just weird stuff. Okay, certain features in your apps will not work, like Instagram. I have a friend who wants to do, what is it? Closed captions. She wants to do that, the closed captions when she does her stories. Not available here. Certain music, not available here, that you want to add to like your stories or your reels. And that applies for a number of different apps. Certain apps, period. Certain features, whether it's on your desktop or your phone, you can't get them here. Cash App don't work here. PayPal works here, but it's something weird like you can receive, but you can't send money if you have like a PayPal account in Kenya. I could be wrong. That might just be Uganda. But like what I'm basically trying to say is everything that you want to use when you come here, upload it where you are in the global north. And hopefully it will work when you get here. Because if you try to upload it here, it may not work. Like, what's that app called? Square? I think it's called, is it Squarespace? Where you can take payments on your phone, etc. Like, even with a VPN, sometimes wouldn't work. You gotta constantly think about how to go around the system to get the shit to work. Anchor, I really wanted to use Anchor for my podcast. And then I found out that the music feature, because Anchor, the thing that sells you, right, is that Anchor has this music feature where you have access to all the music on Spotify. So I was like, I'm gonna have this cool opening and closing music, and I knew exactly who I wanted. And then when I went to actually facilitate, that's not the word I'm looking for. When I went to start my podcast and I realized I didn't have access to those things, to the music on Spotify, and I also didn't have access to the video feature, right, through Anchor, I was like, what's the point? I have access to Anchor, but I don't have access to the video feature or the music feature. Okay, number 6, shopping for clothes. Difficult here. If you're into secondhand, if you don't really care what you wear, then cool. Kenya's a great place because the secondhand market here is popping. All that shit that we was donating to the Goodwill every year, like I grew up doing it. Every year you spring clean and it's like, what am I not wearing? What don't we need? Let's donate it. I was good and grown before I realized that Goodwill was a for-profit institution. Because you know at home, they say that they hire people who are developmentally disabled and it's really inexpensive to shop in their stores, etc. At least in California and Santa Monica, we see homeless people that shop there or houseless people that shop there. And so I'm donating, thinking I'm donating for a good cause. Most of that stuff ends up in the global south. Okay. What else can I say about that? I won't go into details, but basically the East African nations push back against so much secondhand coming into their countries because they said we cannot develop our textile industries and our fashion industries without with all of this stuff coming into our borders, and they push back. And the United States specifically and other countries in the global north like Canada, UK, but the United States specifically was like, oh, economic embargo. So shopping for clothing here is not easy. Like if you want fast fashion, and you want, like, if you just have a different type of flavor, it's not easy. You really have to find your spots. And that's why I have a fashion tour, actually, because I'm like, where can I go? And oh, I found some spots. Let me share them with people who are coming here. What else can I say? If you have an eclectic flavor, it's tough. It's tough. However, the good thing is that getting things custom made here is very cheap. Okay. And lastly, but not least, winter. Who comes to Africa for winter? See, I had lived in Tanzania and I had lived in Kampala where it's hot. Kampala is just comfortable year round, but it can get really hot. TZ be hot, hot. And I just figured, yeah, Nairobi, no, Nairobi, higher elevation, different climate, different microclimates, gets cold. And also I'm no longer used to the cold. Number one, I'm a California girl. Number two, I've been in East Africa for 4 years. So as we like to say, my blood has thinned. So I'll be walking around here with coats on when it's 50 degrees. So you say how cold? I'll say like 50 would be the coldest that it would get, maybe like 47 degrees. However, there's no insulation in these homes, right? So in the global north, where we're accustomed to winter, you have, the exterior, then you have the insulation, and then you have the interior, right? And then you have like central heat, radiator heat, what have you. Here, you've got cinder block, painted cinder block on the inside. The exterior is cement. So when it get cold, it be colder in your house than it is outside. So sometimes you just gotta open the windows, try to warm things up, or just go outside. Okay, y'all. So that's it. That's it for the 7 things that I find really annoying about living in Kenya. There's more. There'll probably be a part 2. I just want to clear this air, right? Because we are inviting more. We are inviting more of what we want into our lives, speaking that, and less of what we don't want. Let's just cleanse this air, okay? Kenyans, do not come for me lest I send for you. I love it here. And I'm grateful to be here. Amen.